season. It's no doubt that, we like their bats. Mike Ford was clutch when we needed him. He wasn't as consistent, wasn't playing as much, but, and then Luke Voigt is Luke Voigt, but then he also kind of had his little bit of a slump. So I don't know. First base is going to be interesting because when DJ was there, because he could play literally any position, it was great. So, there's always the other option of finding someone to play second and moving him to first. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how they both play because nobody I think was really named the starting first baseman yet.
Right. See, I would have actually, you know what? Thinking of it, you can put two in Tyler Estrada and Tyler Wade for second base and put DJ Lemieux at first and Andahar in the outfield because I feel like Andahar could be a good outfielder. 100%. But I completely forgot about Tyler Estrada, so I think he can be a big player for us this year.
Yeah, definitely. I know he's young, but a lot of our players are young. Depending on how Cashman feels, because we didn't get to see him play that much. We saw him play a decent amount, but not enough that where we would be like, okay, he seems like a starting second baseman now. But there's just a lot of possibilities of moving people around because DJ could kind of play a little bit of anywhere. And I think he did great at first base. His glove is on point. I think no matter where you put him, I think better than, Ford and Voigt. And I'm so excited to see Miguel outside in the outfield. Like, I honestly think it's a good move, between that and then, switching with DHing maybe, especially if some people are out. But, we didn't get to hear enough of it or really see any of it yet. But, I'm so excited to see because I want to see what his throw is like from outfield to second or, trying to throw to home. We didn't really get to see that much, just see him catch a few fly balls. But I think that, that'd be a great move.
Right.
But and that's a little bit of bias because he's like my favorite player, but
yeah. The thoughts on our new pitching coach, Matt Blake. Yeah, I think he can bring a different style. And Larry Rothschild is like the old school type of guy, but I feel like with Matt Blake and Garrett Cole can benefit from him, and even Jay Happ also with Matt Blake.
He brings a lot more analytics, I feel like, where it's not old school. It's a little different, which is what a lot of other teams are doing, which I feel is a kind of an advantage. I don't think Rothschild was, horrible. But, I think it was just kind of the same thing with, Girardi. It's, time to move on. It's a different group of guys, different, vibe. It's time to just, switch it up a little, try something different. Maybe something different for one.
Yeah. So do you think
that's what Sonny Gray blamed his struggle was in New York? Listen, I can't stand him after the way he was in New York, but that could honestly have an effect on it, maybe. But he just couldn't handle the pressure. He can't handle the lights.
Yeah.
It happens. Some pitchers, it just doesn't work here. Which that's what everybody thinks Cole is going to be like. I'm like, nah. He can handle pressure. He can handle that.
He's a different animal than Sonny Gray. Because here's the thing. I think Cashman, that was a good gamble to take, especially because he needed a pitcher at that time. I really at first I really liked that trade because we didn't really have to go of anyone. But now looking back at it, I don't know. He fits well with Cincinnati, I feel like. So now he's doing better with Cincinnati. He's a National League pitcher.
Yeah.
So
100%. And he did great with them last year. I think he made the All-Star roster. It's wait, what? How did that even happen? But, that's another argument where a lot of people say, oh, National League, American League, it's way different in the American League. As much as you want to argue it's not, it is. That's why I'm really excited to see how this season goes because that fight with DeGrom, everybody's like, DeGrom's number one in New York. Nah, not anymore. He's not going to be.
Yeah.
He won us 2 Cy Youngs. Listen, we all know Garrett Cole should have won it last year, and he wasn't even a Yankee. But politics.
True, right? Yeah, that's true. Here's the next question. Gio Urshela, what a magical season he had last year. But do you see him I'm not going to say repeat the season, but obviously we know what he can do in defense. But do you think he can have a good, capable offensive year again?
I think so. I think 100%. You know, he was pretty consistent too the whole year. I don't think he really had at least nothing like drastic where, you know, like a Gary Sanchez slump or a Luke Voigt slump. Like he was pretty consistent, and he wasn't always like a home run hitter either. So, you know, his fielding is great. I think his bat is amazing, and he's riding on a high right now, and I feel like he wasn't given the opportunities he needed in the past, and you know, the teammates or the atmosphere of the team wasn't where it pushed him to do better. And I feel like it just fit. It worked here, and I feel like it's going to be consistent for him moving forward. You know, it's a hard season to live up to, but you know, I do think he's going to be, you know, the same or at least relatively close.
Right. So I've been asking this question to pretty much not all my guests, but most of my guests that pertains to the Yankees. But do you think Aaron Judge is worth $100 million? Over $100 million, actually.
That's so hard. I mean, my whole thing is that, you know, maybe I 100%, I mean, I guess I do. I have to agree. I mean, it's a lot of money, and like technically his stats and everything and him being injured doesn't really agree with that. But you have to look at everything else. He's way bigger than just, you know, a player of the Yankees.